Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope your day and your week have gone well so far. We got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. We've got some more round one NBA playoff action continuing tonight with a couple of game sixes. These are the last two series that are still alive so far on the first round. The rest of the first round playoff slates have already been decided. These are the last two series that are still kicking. It's our Freaky Friday, which means it's our 5-leg parlay. I've got a 5-leg parlay plus 578 odds for tonight's slate that I'm really excited to hand out to you guys because I feel like it's going to hit. But first, as always, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, if you're new here, join the Guy Boston Sports community. Help us get to our goal of 100,000 subscribers just a little bit sooner. Tons of great content here on the channel between myself and Ev that you don't want to miss. So join the Guy Boston Sports community today. Also, shout out Veronica Jarowski, who won the t-shirt giveaway, the May 1st t-shirt giveaway. I've already reached out to you in the previous videos with the contest. So if you want to hand me your information, we can get you that free Fade Me t-shirt. I might do another giveaway later this month. I usually do giveaway every first of the month. I'm thinking maybe I'll do 2 this month. I'm feeling a little generous. We'll see how the month goes, how the bets go, I guess. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll probably do another Fade Me t-shirt giveaway sometime later in the month. Quick recap of last night before we dive into today's video. Overall, not a bad night. I gave out 5 straight props. We went 3-2 on our straight props. We almost had a very good night. Tyrese Halliburton over 27.5 points plus assists. We got him at 27. So unfortunately, we missed it by 1. So that was one of the 2 losses there. But overall, a 3-2 day. A couple of those wins were plus money plays. So overall, a solid day. The parlay, we had a 3-leg parlay. 2 out of 3 legs hit. Unfortunately, I had recorded that video on Wednesday night. So at the time that I had recorded, Damian Lillard was out. And so if I had known Lillard was going to play, I would not have put Chris Middleton in that parlay. And of course, Middleton cooked us. But that's all right. New day, new parlay. Let's dive into it. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Outlier screen now, guys. Outlier, if you don't know what it is the best sports betting tool on the market. If you watch my videos, you know they are a fantastic sports betting tool to use to better yourself as a sports bettor. Between props, straight bets, spreads, totals, money lines, it gives you insight into everything. They are a sponsor of today's video. They're a sponsor of every NBA player prop video I do here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. And we do have a special link in our description below that gives you guys a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. You got nothing to lose. You try it for 7 days. You don't like it, you don't resubscribe. But if you do like it, you stay subscribed and you help yourself win a little extra cash. So one more time, guys, our link in our description below. 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. Also, while I'm doing all these plugs, shout out Great Oak Pizza. That's the small business that I own in Norwich, Connecticut. You guys know I'm a pizza shop owner. It's been a long week. Had a lot of shit go down this week. Had someone try to break in last night. It's been a week. Let's just say that. But also at the end of the day, I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunities that I have. Not to get all gushy, but so yeah. Shout out Great Oak Pizza. Come stop by if you're in the Norwich area, right near the Mohegan Sun Casino. Great small business. We have the best pizza in the area. That's my humble opinion. But yeah, come by and check it out. All right, first leg of our 5-leg parlays, guys. We're going Cavs Magic, 7 p.m. tip-off. We're going Jarrett Allen over 13.5 points plus assists. We're getting this for minus 255 odds on DraftKings. And look, I'm going to be straight up honest. I took a little bit of a safer approach with these picks today because these games, there's a reason that these series are the ones going the longest because they're so unpredictable. This Cavs Magic series, you had games where the Cavs were down by 40 at moments in these games. You had moments where they've absolutely obliterated the Magic at points. Same thing when you look at Clippers Mavs. It's been a crazy roller coaster with these series. So I'm playing the safer side of things and going a little heavier on the alternates. I will show you guys you can go a little higher up if you want better odds. But I took this at 13.5, again, minus 255 on DraftKings. And you see the data, it's just straight green. He's cashed it in 10 straight games, including all 5 games in this series versus Orlando so far. An 81% hit rate on the season for Jarrett Allen. He's played 81 games, including playoffs. He's cashed this line in 66 out of 81 games, an 81% hit rate, averaging 19.19 points plus assists per game. And you go ahead and look at the head-to-head data. 8 of his last 10 games versus Orlando dating back to October of last season. He has cashed the over, averaging 15.8 points plus assists per game. He had a couple of misses this year back in December, but for the most part, you see he's cashed this now in 6 consecutive games versus Orlando, including all 5 games in this playoff series. And even if you look at the last 20 games, 18 of his last 20 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 20.1. That includes, again, the 5 playoff games. So Jared Allen's been covering this at a consistent rate. There's a reason why it's minus 255. It's a solid spot for the first leg of our 5-leg parlay. And again, if you want to go higher, you could go up to 14.5. I think I'd be okay with it. You see the data does change, but ever so slightly. You see he's still cashed it. Still 18 of his last 20 games. That does not change when you move the points. The season number does drop. He hit it 3 fewer times at this 14.5 point plus assist line. Still a 78% hit rate. And then versus the head-to-head, 1 fewer time. You see it changes that April 2023 matchup. Now becomes a loss. But still 70% hit rate versus Orlando. So you can go ahead and take that. That's minus 195. So a pretty significant difference. You can go ahead and take the 14.5 points plus assists if you want to take that. I went a little bit safer and went with the 13.5 at minus 255 just to cover my grounds here. All right, second leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're going Darius Garland over 2.5 rebounds. We're getting this one for minus 180. By the way, shout out Outlier. They officially are putting data now for ESPN Bet. I know I've seen a few people in the comments talk about ESPN Bet. We will now be able to show you lines with Outlier for ESPN Bet. So that's a pretty cool update that came in this morning. You see here for Garland, 7 of his last 10 games, including all 5 games of this series versus the Magic. He has cashed his over. Now look, it's been literally 3, and they had 5 in game 5. It's been close, but he has cashed it in all 5 games. You look at the head-to-head data, 7 of his last 10 games versus Orlando, again, including all 5 games in this series. He's played them, let's go ahead and see, that's 5, 6, 7, 8 times this year. He's cashed it in 7 out of 8 meetings this season with Orlando, averaging 3.1 rebounds per game. Over his last 20 games, a 70% hit rate. So yeah, guys, I see all this green. I got to take it. So that's the second leg of our 5-leg parlay. All right, guys, in the third and final leg from this game, our third leg overall, just to give you guys a little scare there, we're going Jalen Suggs under 15.5 points. Now, originally I was planning to put Evan Mobley in this spot, but for some reason, DraftKings pulled Evan Mobley off the book, so you can no longer bet his props. I did bet the parlay earlier this morning when I was doing the research. I put it in because I bet these parlays myself. I put the parlay in with Mobley in, and it worked. But unfortunately, within literally the last 30 minutes when I was getting ready to record, they took the Mobley props completely off the book. So I'm not really sure what happened there with that. But we are going to go ahead and throw this alternate in. If you can get it, Evan Mobley over 14.5 points plus assists. If you can find it, get it. It's a pretty good prop. But in case you can't, this is the one we're going to go with officially in the video. We're going Jalen Suggs under 15.5 points, minus 200 odds here on DraftKings. You see he's cashed in 5 of his last 10 games. Look at just in this series so far, he's cashed it in 4 out of 5. Only in game 3 has he cashed the over, but in each and every other game of this series, he has cashed the under. I mean, the season data is pretty good. A 69 nice % hit rate for Jalen Suggs, 55 out of 80 games this year he's cashed the under. So it's not like he hit the over very much this season. And look at the head-to-head data for Suggs. His last 11 games versus Orlando dating back to April of last season, an 82% hit rate. 9 of his last 11 times playing against Cleveland, he has cashed the under. Only 2 times since April of last season has he cashed the over versus the Cavs. April 6th, he had 22 points. And in game 3, again, he had that 24 points. But overall, average of 11.45 points per game versus Cleveland. I mean, look at the data just for this year. This is from December 6th of this season all the way through here. That's 9 games he's played versus Cleveland in this NBA season, regular season and postseason combined. You see he's cashed in 8 out of 9 games this year versus Cleveland. I know they're at home. Game 6 back against the wall. Maybe he steps it up. I don't think so. The Cavs are a pretty good defensive team. I think they take care of business and hold him to under 16 points. 15 points, excuse me. Well, 16 points. 15 points. Yeah, he can't score more than 15 points. So he's going to hold him to under 16 points. Wow, that was a brain fart. I don't know what else to say about that. All right, fourth leg of our 5-leg parlay, switching over to Clippers Mavs, 9:30 p.m. tip-off. We're going Zubac over 11.5 points, minus 220 odds. Look, I've been saying it all series long. The Mavs don't know what to do with this matchup here. They just don't know what to do. Gafford can't handle it. Lively can't handle it. They don't have a big who can handle Zubac. It's going to be a problem for Dallas all postseason if they win this series and they have to go play. You look at some of the teams in the playoffs right now. I mean, obviously, they're going to play OKC, which actually might benefit them a little bit, the fact that the Thunder don't have a lot of size. But if the Mavs were to go to the conference finals, let's just say, they played either Minnesota or Denver, specifically Denver, they've got absolutely no clue how to handle Jokic. He's cashed in 9 of his last 10 games, including, again, all 5 games in this series versus the Mavs so far. He's cashed it, averaging 16 points per game in this series versus Dallas. A 55% hit rate on the season for Zubac, not bad, 40 out of 73 games. He averages just shy of 12 points per game. And in the head-to-head data here, you see 7 of his last 12 games versus Dallas dating back to November of last season. He's cashed the over, a 58% hit rate, averaging 11.75 points per game. Again, you just look at this season, narrow it down to this year for Dallas. He's played them 8 times this season. He's cashed this over in 7 out of 8 games this year versus the Mavericks. The one time he didn't this season, you got to go to November 25th. He fell just short with 11 points. All right, guys, in the 5th and final leg of today's parlay, by the way, comment 11 down below in the comments if you're watching this far into the video. We're about to hit the 11-minute mark. Again, I always appreciate you guys watching through all the way through the video and not just kind of picking. Listen, I don't mind if people pick and choose and skip forward, but really do appreciate the people who do stick around and watch through the entire video. Picking this 5th leg was a little tricky here because I don't know. These are two teams that have been so weird, especially the Clippers side of things. Like, you know, without Kawhi, there's a part of me that wanted to go Paul George or James Harden, but they're just so wildly inconsistent. I'm going to go with somebody who's been a little more consistent. I'm going PJ Washington of the Dallas Mavericks over 8.5 points. We're getting this from minus 230 odds on DraftKings. And you see he's cashed in 8 of his last 10 games, averaging 12 points per game over his last 10. In this series so far, he's cashed in 4 out of 5 games. He had a really bad game 5. Only had 2 points in what was a 30-point win for Dallas. But he had cashed in the previous 4 games in this series. Now, it's not like he's running away with it. He's averaging 10 points per game in the series. That includes, obviously, the 2-point game that brings his numbers down. But overall, he's been solid in this series. You look at the season data, a 73% hit rate on the season, 57 out of 78 games. He has cashed the over, averaging 12.69 points per game. And looking at the head-to-head data, that also obviously is all in this series. The Clippers defensively versus power forwards on the season, they've been middle of the road, giving up 24 points per game to opposing power forwards. Again, all we're asking PJ Washington to do here is score 9 points. The over-under set at 206. It's not obviously super high. This isn't the regular season, but you know, Dallas, I just feel like PJ Washington, he's been pretty good this series. I know he's coming off a bad game 5. I think he bounces back here in game 6. The volume for the most part has been, obviously the minutes played we're not worried about. He did play a series low 29.7 minutes in game 5. Of course, they were blowing the doors off the Clippers, so they didn't really need him. But for the most part, he's been playing a lot of minutes. He's 37, 35, 34, 41 minutes in these games. Dallas is a 7.5-point favorite tonight, which is a little bit concerning because obviously we saw the effects of we've seen some blowouts so far in some of these series-ending games, like the Bucks game, like the Celtics Heat game, where they're pulling the starters for both sides, which is a little alarming here. But look, the Clippers are not going to roll over just because they don't have Kawhi. They're still going to fight. I don't think listen. I don't bet spreads here, but Clippers plus 7.5. I don't hate it. We're going to go ahead and put a filter here to show his minutes played. So PJ Washington, we're going to go ahead and push this to, we'll do between 32 and 40 minutes because he's not going to play more than 40 probably. All right, so this filter is between 32. All 3 times he's played them in this series where he's played between 32 and 40 minutes. You see he's cashed this over. If we go ahead and now look, hide that. 2023, an 85% hit rate. He's played 33 games this year in that 32 to 40 minute range, averaging 15.09 points per game. So the key here is, will he play enough minutes? Will he play 32 plus minutes? He had so far in all 4 games leading up to game 5, had played more than 32 minutes in every game. We'll see if that stays true. If he plays that many minutes, it looks like we got a pretty good chance for a hit here. So again, guys, like I've been saying, I put the Outlier link. Now, this is obviously a different link from the 7-day free trial for Outlier. I make sure to point that out in the description. I categorize it and show you guys where the Outlier link for the picks are. When you click the Outlier link for the picks for today's slate, it will take you to this screen here. So there's our 5-pick parlay, our 5-leg parlay. PJ Washington over 8.5 points. Ivica Zubac over 11.5 points. Jared Allen over 13.5 points plus assists. Darius Garland over 2.5 rebounds. And Jalen Suggs under 15.5 points. Again, you parlay all 5 of those together, you get a parlay of plus 578. Pretty good value there. All you got to do, if you're using the DraftKings, which obviously you have to if you want to bet this parlay, you click add to bet slip. And now I'm on a PC, so obviously it's going to change how it looks. But usually you'll click add to bet slip. It'll take you right to DraftKings. It'll load the picks for you. And all you got to do is put your dollar amount that you want to bet. It's as simple and easy as that. But if you don't want to do that, you can always just follow along I'm using the screen. Again, this will be in the description below. I'll make sure to specify this is where the link for the picks are. You click it, and it takes you right here. You get to review all the picks. Again, you can add to your bet slip, or you can go ahead and manually enter the picks in yourself. All right, guys, that does it for me for today's video. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Again, Veronica Jarowski, congratulations on winning the free t-shirt. Give me your socials so I can go ahead and get you that free t-shirt. And not in a weird way. That sounded, give me your socials sounded a little aggressive. Apologies. But guys, that is it for me today. I will be back tomorrow with some more NBA player props. Until then, I hope we're all winners. Enjoy Freaky Friday. Enjoy the 5-leg parlay. Let's hope this cashes. Let's win some money to kick off the weekend.